Okay, good evening and warm welcome, and it's my pleasure to be with all of you. You can see my energy. I've already started glowing looking at all of you. And I would prefer as many of you possible keep your videos on. And you already know you can interact, stop anytime, no formalities as far as we are all concerned. Let's all learn together. I'm only sharing a perspective. I'm not sure if I've done this earlier for any of your group. Even if it is, it's a repeat, so bear with me. And let's get started. So I will share my screen. So this is art of studying. So these are the primarily this I'm going to run through fast some of this because you guys already know why to study. We start with why. Many people don't even know why they go to school, why they study. That is where they go, they do all that. But you ECEL guys don't have to do that. But I'm sure there are sometimes we are confused of what to study, when to study, where to study, which one to focus. We start with some and then we feel, oh my God, I need to do that. I need to study this subject. Then you start that, you will find other subject. You know, that kind of sometimes confusions we go through, and I guess so. If not, just support, listen to me. This is what I went through and I continue to go through in my life. And then how to concentrate. This is something all of us have been told, and we keep telling ourselves, right? Concentrate, but we don't know how to develop that and confidence and fear if there is any. So let me address this first. How many of you have exam fear?
No.
How many of you have exam fear? Okay, I can see quite a few hands going up. Fantastic. I also had.
Separately exams.
Okay. So let's say quickly, what is exam, by the way? I want all of you to answer. Either type the chat box or unmute and talk. Tell me what does exam mean to you? Why, if I have to use your own language, why the hell do we have exams?
The way to test what we learn.
Analysis of our knowledge.
Examination, testing. Okay, then any other reasons why we have exams? Which is for many people, it's a monster, right?
Yeah.
It used to be for me.
Huh? Our testing our knowledge.
Is it only to test our knowledge? Is that the only reason why we have exams?
To get job.
To be on track with syllabus, like in part. So why? We can still study on our own, right? To track students, our syllabus, like and all, we can still study.
To hire workers, ma'am.
To hire workers. Okay, let me go to the. I'm going to go on a little fast pace. So, Sirisha, if you don't understand me, just enjoy my voice.
No, ma'am. I was about to type something. My answer.
Yeah, go ahead and tell me your answer. I'd love to hear. You tell in Telugu. I understand Telugu. Don't worry. I may not talk in Telugu. If I talk, you will have fun. That's all. Nothing else.
No, okay.
Okay, I still get nightmares about exams even after 40 years of graduation. I used to, but now I've dealt with it, and now I'll tell you what happened. Okay, let's say.
No, ma'am, I always have a first exam fear, ma'am. Once the first exam is done, I feel comfortable.
Okay, fear is whether one can pass or fail, to remember what we learned, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's say, this, our current Modi government is known to come up with new policies overnight, right? So let's say today there's an announcement that government has removed the exam. How do you feel? Look at that big smiles on everyone's face. Relaxed and fantastic, right? I mean, it's aha feeling, correct? That's what I see in most of the faces. If anybody is unhappy with that change, let me know. I'd like to see who's unhappy if the exam is removed. So now that it is removed, what happens? Let's figure out what happens. What will you do?
అంటే మేము చదివేటోడు చదివినోడు అందరు ఒకటే అయిపోరు.
You have to speak more clearly. It was too fast.
And that too in Telugu too fast, so please go slow.
Please going through an exam now.
So Shivani is saying we won't study. Why not? Because we can study, right? Why do we need exams?
To sort
No,
out
ma'am.
who is better.
Do we need to compare who's better? Is that required?
No.
Society
To get
requires.
work done.
That makes world of talent evolve. Wow. Ganesh says, if you remove exam, that makes the world of talent evolve. I like it. There.
We
What else
may
can-
not know our own capability.
we may not know our own capability. Possible. Okay. Okay. So all this can happen. And let's say, like Ganesh says, that makes the world talent evolve. Let's go with that. Let's say there are two doctors. One self-evolved doctor. Another one MBBS, MD doctor. Okay. Probably the self-evolved doctor is much better than the MBBS doctor. But when you're sick, whom will you go to?
Self-evolved doctor.
No.
Are you sure?
No. With
No,
that,
right?
MD.
We will go only to that MBBS, MD board wala doctor.
Yeah.
Yes or no? So all
Yes.
of us need that something called an evidence or some measurement, something to say that yes, So we all need that. Even if I have to buy a mobile phone, how many people we ask? Right? Which is the best model? What does this? Anything we need reference, we need validation, we need some kind of certification. We go to the branded products we buy. Why? Roadside we don't buy. Maybe sometimes the roadside wala is very good than what you get in the shop, but yet we go to the shop and buy. When you don't have money, it's a separate. When you have money, where will you buy? The roadside or the branded shop? Because we all want some validation, some certification. So exam is not just sheer testing of your knowledge, your memory. No. Because I went through this few years ago saying, what exactly is exam? What does it do for us? It is the realities. It is the one which can tell you are ready for the next. From first standard, you are ready for the second and third, fourth, fifth, and your college, etc., etc. So it is a kind of shows that you are ready for next. Not only to you, even to the world. So for me, it is a step. So I know I'm climbing up. I need something to climb up, right? We need a ladder. Okay, with all the technology, you got elevators and, something you need, right? Or at least we need to have that Superman power to fly up. But we need something to go up. And exam is just, for me, exam could be all the testing your knowledge, all that is the ultimate purpose is it helps me to go up to the next level. When you look at like this now, tell me, do we need to hate exams or should we be thankful that there is one system? Or is it the best system? I don't know. Unless I come up with, or somebody comes up with the best system, let me follow what is there. It's easier to sit and come and saying, oh my God, this is not the best system. Maybe not be. I'm not saying whether it's the best or not best. Till somebody comes up with a better, or you and I, or one of us come up with, can we respect that existing system which is there and be thankful than hating it and having fear? Why should we have a fear? I say, convert your fear into excitement. Like when you go for a party, you'll say, like that we have to go to the exams. Because that is something that is helping me to go forward in my life. Why should I have fear for it? Let me pause and allow you to sink in this thought.
I feel the same when it is last exam now.
Why not for the first? That we need to develop that. And that's why I leave it to you with the question: do you want to hate? You want to love? You want to be thankful for the exam now?
Can I say a couple of thoughts about this, Srividya?
Yes,
Okay.
please.
So first of all, I do, I like the way you said about how exam gives you a evidence or a certification or a metric, because everything in life is, we need certain evidence. Right now, the first years are very excited about ESL because of all the evidence that the first years have seen on how their seniors have done in ESOL. If there was no evidence of that accomplishment, the first years probably would not have been this excited.
Exactly.
Right? So that evidence is what makes these exams very important. So what happened is, over the course of the years, okay, this evidence has, we see the people around us who sometimes don't even know what they're doing, and they get a degree. And then now we are thinking, what is the use of this degree, right? Because we see the people around us. So we have to, like what Srividya said is, until we have a better system or a system which we all accept. There are many systems out there, but we have to accept, all of us together have to accept that this is a better system and put that system into place. But we haven't done that yet. So we have, whatever we have is, this is the system we have. So
it's like a ticket.
we have to, what did
it's
you
like
say?
It's like a ticket. You buy a ticket. There is nothing in the ticket. Only when you go inside, you actually watch it. So, I mean, sometimes we may not use what we have learned in the college. I mean, most of us don't use what we have learned, and I don't even remember what I've learned. Doesn't matter. But that was a ticket which is important. You need that entry pass to get in somewhere. Whether to watch a movie or to watch a music show, to anything, you need one ticket, right? So that is where I'm saying, do with a lot of love and hate and fear. But somehow the fear has been instilled in us over the years, and it is not required. Because when you are happy, you will deliver your best. So for the exams, dress up well and go. You don't have to go like one, oh my God. No, why? Go with all that energy, because it matters. So carry your best. Whether it's your dress, how you look, to everything, carry your best to the exams. Today, tell me, in the last few years, I love exams. Because when it is there, I will sit and study. At this phase of life, because nobody to ask me. One of my learning partner and I, we look for courses which has exams, so that we at least study. There is a deadline. Otherwise, like aaj karenge, kal karenge, next week, next month. There's always one good day, because we are not accountable and nobody is going to ask, and life is not going to change based on what I learned right now in a big way. It's over a period of time. So I actually love exams now. I'm so thankful. We look for those courses which has exams. Then you are bound to do that. So yes, thank you. I hope now our emotions and feelings towards exam, first let's change it. This Monday is your exam. From today, get excited about it. Like, you have your ESOL event, how you're excited in the preparation. It is hard work, right? You're having sleepless nights and you're doing all that work, but you're doing with joy. Can we bring in the same joy to exams? Because it is an entry ticket for our life. And why not? Okay. Any questions, comments, and thoughts?
Sir, do you remember we were discussing about this thing also, that let's celebrate exams, but nobody has took that topic while Ideathon.
Next time, you remember it and take it next time. We got to celebrate our exams. Life is a celebration, friends. Whatever we do, let's celebrate and do it. Anything. You have to celebrate as you brush your teeth. That is also a celebration. Everything can we do with the attitude of celebration. Then we'll be happy. And exam is such a significant part of our life. So let's enjoy it. Thank you. Thank you, Vinay. Shall we move forward? Any other comments? Vijay, any comments on this particular thing? Or shall we?
Good evening, ma'am. I'm Kushla from Food Technology.
Yes, Kushla.
Kushala, ma'am. I think I can relate to the thing now you said that no matter what we do, we have to enjoy and do it, because that's what I love to do. Even if I don't like it at first, but this is my policy kind of thing. So I just on my music and do whatever work it is, even if I don't like. So I enjoy it in that way. I think I can relate to this point. Thank you.
Good. Very nice. That's really a good attitude. Keep it up. Keep it up. Okay, in the interest of time, I'm going to move forward a little quickly. So this whole thing is instead of hard studying, I'm going to help you move to a smart studying so you get time to do more, whatever else you want to do in life. That's the objective. Dream. So let's not get detail into this. Right now, can we just, I want all of you to take a moment and think in this coming exam, what is the result you want? I want all of you to just maybe close your eyes and decide what outcome you want. Bigger dream, let's talk about it later, but this coming exams, what is that you want as an outcome? Yes, BJJ, I'm actually talking about the outcome now. Think about, decide for yourself, like very specific. Don't say I want to score good marks. I will say is 35 good for me. So be specific, what is that you want to score in this upcoming exams. Don't worry about whether you will be, you will not be, just what comes to your mind, instantly go with that. Okay, no analysis on it. Just instantly, inner se jo aata hai na, just say whatever you're saying, 40%, 50%, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, whatever the number is. Just decide right now. Okay, as you decide, that's your dream for now, or a goal, and I will have to figure out the resources. And all of you have those resources, so I'm not going to get into that. I'm going to skip in the interest of time and straight away get to strategies how to achieve your goal. So when we go there, can anybody want to share what did you decide as your goal for this upcoming exam?
Yeah, I want to secure higher CGPA than my previous semester exams.
So be specific, what is that?
Like higher than 9.33.
Yeah, so that's exactly. So more than 9.33. Okay, like that, I want each of you, whether you share, you don't share, but write it down. And I will tell you how you're supposed to write it down. The sentences is, I am scoring dash dash percentage or GPA, whatever, in when will you get the result? Let's say this month, right? In this semester, whatever you mention the month, in Feb 2021. So I'll repeat, I am scoring. Please write down as is. I will also write in the chat box so that no confusion. I am scoring. I'll only say XXX, whatever the percentage GPA in Feb 2021 semester. So this is how you will write. Okay, that XXS is all you will replace with. And it's okay to have ambitious goal. In fact, it's good to have ambitious one. Okay. And now we will figure out how to achieve it. What and how much to study. I will start with this and then let me share other simple tools and techniques. When you start one subject, you will wonder, should I study this or that, etc. So I hope all of you have paper and pen. I will quickly run through this. Okay. All of you remember traffic light? All of us are familiar with traffic light?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, the three colors are called red, amber, and green. Orange or amber it is called. Yellow, orange people will say, but it's also called amber. Red, amber, green. What do you like? Which color do you like that?
Green.
Green, fine. If not, at least amber is okay. Red is like, no. So let's apply that concept, the traffic signal concept, to our studies. All you need to do is, maybe some of the seniors can learn and share with the juniors a little quickly. In interest of time, I'm going a little fast. You have to take one subject and draw. Okay, quickly, can you draw this table? Don't worry about the straight line. Just draw quickly a table like this. What you're seeing on the screen, quickly draw that. Don't take scale and all that, just pen, pencil, whatever you have, quickly draw it. Don't worry about how many lines, even 2-3 lines, rows. Columns ensure, rows it's okay even if you have 4 rows. But ensure the columns are in place. Hope it's done. Can people confirm if you have done? Hey Sidhu. Good morning.
Hey, Sidhu.
Okay, Vinay done. Others, can you quickly, okay, type your notes in the chat box because I may not be able to see all of you while sharing. So just say yes, yes, yes. I know then you've got it. We are 31 of us, 37 of us. Wow. Okay, quick. Because we need Ain to add his wisdom quickly. Okay, so 10, 12 of you have done, so I'm assuming, and let me go forward. So what you do, you pick up a subject, and then in that, whether you call lesson, chapter, topic, whatever, you write. And if I ask you, in that particular, as of now, how much do you know? If you know, if you're confident, then you will put a tick as green here when you write. If you know, I know I'm not fully confident, I'm okay, then amber. And if you feel I don't know, then you say red. Okay. Like that, for each of the lesson, chapter, topic, you'll have to say whether it's red, amber, green as of now, and do this tick in pencil because we need to keep changing that. Do it for 1 or 2 right now. Think of one topic, one subject. And because I don't know chemical engineering, anything, so I will not be able to give you an example of these chapters or lessons. And once you do this, ask yourself, let's say, for example, if it is in green, all you need to do is revise that morning or previous night quickly. Then you know how much time you need. So you can write the time for you for this subject. It's a very customized formula, friends. Like if somebody wants to have a question saying how many hours I'm supposed to study for the exam, and I'll give you a customized formula. It's no standard 3 hours per day, 4 hours, half an hour, no standard, but it's a customized individual formula. Okay. So you know to convert, if it is an amber, you need to convert to a green, how much time it takes. If it's green, very less time because you need to revise. If it is red, you know. So write the time in minutes. Do for 1 or 2, just for you to understand the process. Later you can use this however you want to, but just do that quickly.
So, Srividya, I missed it. So, green means revise. You know the chapter very well, and you're
confident.
You're confident, and you're only revising. Okay.
Yes.
And amber means what?
I know half.
Half. Okay.
Kind of. I mean, I don't know fully, but I know partially. Whatever. Whether it's
partial. Okay.
Whatever.
And
red means I don't know. Red means or I know only like 10% types. You know.
Okay. So
but I'm not at all
going to know if we don't know how to put minutes for that.
Yeah, but normally it's like you would have done, yourself, right, while studying, or you take a help of a senior, but you would know how much time, approximate time.
Okay.
When you know the subjects, you've already, that is covered in the college. So you do this not in the beginning of your semester, but later part of the semester.
No.
Okay. So you've gone through you're familiar it. That's where you know that you don't know.
Okay.
So you will get some approximate time. Otherwise, you can take help of somebody and you can always change it, but at least you will get some rough idea of what it is. So once you put the time, hope all of you have done it for 1 or 2 chapter or lesson so that you become familiar with the process. Now that you've done, you will get a total time required for each subject. That totaling you can do later, but you get a total for each subject. Total, Nietzsche, you'll get this total. So you can put it in minutes or hours, that's your choice. So when you get the total, for this particular subject, I need to study these many hours. And You have to start working backwards. How many days do I have from now and between now and the exam? Then you know how many hours you need to give it. Once you do this for all your subjects, it really, really helps. Trust me, friends, I've tried with many students. Their performance has gone up at least a little bit. Because most often we have no clarity of what we don't know and what we know, what we don't know. So this is a very simple technique which helps us to know whether how much I know, how much I don't know. That itself will add confidence to your exam. Your fear is less because you're sure, I don't know this, but I'm okay if I don't know this. Let me focus on what I know rather than getting worried about what I don't know. Especially when you have now today, when your exam is starting on Monday, I would suggest focus on your greens, and when you have time, then you focus on your amber. And do not worry too much on red. If you have time, then come to the red. In the order of priority, quickly revise your greens, then convert ambers to greens. And only if you still have time, then go to reds. Don't start from the red, because when you towards the exam side, when you start on the red, you will get demotivated. And it's very important in the towards the end that you keep your motivation level up. So start from the green, amber, and red depending on the time. And same way while you are writing the exams, what you're very confident, write that off first. So that, every time you write, you should say, I have scored 10 marks. Then you write another, you say, I have scored 20 marks. Once 35 done, I'm pass. So that, you have more motivation. It keeps you going rather than feeling strenuous. Then you celebrate that every moment. Even while writing the exam, it's a celebration. Oh, I've already scored 10 marks. I'll score another 10. That celebration while studying also. Because a lot of people start from the red. That then, it'll pull you down. Oh my God, I don't know so much in life. I mean, it depends on what works for each of you. But by and large, psychologically, we like something, quick results, we are happy. Then you go on. Then you will get motivated. I have already got some, 6 greens. Then you will say, I want to convert all of the ambers to greens. Then red to amber. Right? The motivation, normally human psychology, will keep going like that. So this method you will know what you don't know. And then you prioritize. When you have a short time, you prioritize saying, okay, this topic, I am not going to break my head because I don't have time. Let's be very pragmatic towards the exam. When you have a lot of time, then you focus on everything. Now you prioritize on your greens and ambers. Is that clear? While writing exam also same. Write what you know the best first. Then whatever you know some. Then what you don't know. You can think of, then you can break your head and say, Arey, kabhi class mein suna hai. And then you can think of write something about it. And keep celebrating. Every mark, 1 mark, celebrate, 2 markers, celebrate. How? Just the thought itself gives you that joy, right? And that's how you celebrate your studies. Then it is no hard work. For me, these sessions doing at 9 o'clock in the night is no stress because I enjoy it. Even if you ask me middle of the night, you ask me 12 o'clock, get up and do it. I'm happy to do it because I enjoy it. When you enjoy it, there's no stress. That's why I love the exams, not hate the exams. First, no fear, it's only the joy. Okay, any questions, you stop me, otherwise I'll move quickly. Okay, when and where I will come to that. And before that, probably Ayn, you would like to add about Pomodoro and the goal breaking down?
Yep. See, I'll just take 5 minutes and then go join, because otherwise I may not have any packing available for tomorrow. I'll be on the road 6 days without any clothes.
Wow.
Okay. Great context setting, Shivji. So I want to add 3 or 4 thoughts. Your first question of why exam, I think that's a good place to start it. What we say is it's necessary for you to know if you're fit for today, ready for tomorrow. Then explain, because your education starts with LKG, goes on till wherever you want it to go on, right? It's like playing a video game. You go to the next level when you clear this level. But why is it that when we play video game, you might flunk a level 20 times, it doesn't worry us. I'll come back to that in a moment. Basically, what it's trying to tell you is, hey, buddy, you are ready for the next role. You've climbed a 1,000-foot mountain. Now we are ready and fit to take on the 1,500-foot mountain. Okay, I think you need it. Your school needs it. Whatever organization you work for needs it. That's the principle of whether it is done rightly or not. We are not getting into. I agree with Shivijyan that I think now we need to plan in the context of what we have. The second is the school system. It's beginning to change. We have the concept of a section. You say, look, there are 30 people in a section, and the teaching and testing design is based on a principle called the average student. Okay, for example, if you board any flight or a train, right? All seats are the same size. You go in a bus, all seats are the same size. They assume that anybody can fit in a seat and be comfortable. You may get away with the bus because it's only a 10-hour thing, but education is also based on that. So what we are trying to do is, we can't change that. So how do we deal with the fact that each of us is a little different? Okay, some learn by writing, some learn by reading, some learn by watching, some learn by listening, and some learn by doing. We are all 100% different. So what we're now trying to do is first get a sense of what's your best way. Some actually say, look, I want to read one page and write down on a piece of paper. I'm actually storing it. So some of the tips and tricks I'll actually give you will actually help you cope with yourself. You say, like, I'm not that average student this class is designed for. I'm better at some, I'm not so good at some. So how do I adjust it to myself? Because there's nothing wrong with being yourself. Each of us is special. Each of us is a good design. Okay. So what was that? There was a hell of a lot of research done on this. They say, hey, look, how do we make every student win? Exam is not a go-no-go, right? There is no quota. There's no quota that only 30% people should pass. So how do we, when there's no quota, how do we make sure that everyone gets past that next stage or goes to the next level in the game? This is called the cognitive neuroscience. They say, look, understanding, learning, and brain, how do you bring them together? Okay, now I'll tell you a fact that you may not like. Your mind is not as smart as you think it is. Okay? While technology, phones, all that has changed, the working of the brain is what it was 200,000 years ago when humanity came, or 20,000 years ago when first hut was built. So we need to help the brain. I'll explain. There are 2 or 3 ways you can do that. One is, don't multitask. Often you are told that multitasking is very smart. Your brain cannot cope with multitasking because I'll tell you why. There is a thing called working memory. So every time you're learning something, what it does is, works in the working memory. It brings whatever you already learned and stored. It looks at what you're reading now, brings it together, mixes it and helps you understand. Now, when you're doing that, suddenly you want to switch to something and say, hey, look, there's a song playing. I want to know the words. Now, brain has to put away whatever it is working on, then bring that song, bring what you know about language, process the words. It's doing all that. And considering the brain is only a small part of the whole body, it consumes the maximum amount of energy, the way the brain works. So every time you keep going back and forth, you're consuming a lot of energy, which is why you often feel tired. You say, hey, oh my God, I'm exhausted. So when you are working on something, stay focused on that because that's the only way the brain works. Okay, please help your brain. It's a poor thing. It's not very smart. You are smart. Your brain is not. And how do you do that? So people did a lot of work on a theme called Learn Better. How do you learn better? There is a beautiful, very simple technique called a Pomodoro technique. Pomodoro actually means a tomato. What it actually says is, in fact, on all your smartphones, you'll have a look for a Pomodoro. There will be some app, Focus Keeper. For example, if an Apple phone, there's an app called Focus Keeper. What it does is, for 25 minutes, you don't distract. Even if your mommy calls, The best friend calls and say, can I take for a moment? I said, no, I'm in my Pomodoro. 25 minutes, no distraction. After 25 minutes, distract yourself. Because again, it's not possible for brain to stay concentrated for extended period of time. Okay? I'm not talking about some, accomplished yogi, sadhana, you can, for 5 years you can stay, because we're not talking about that. I'm talking about human being. So what you're doing, 25 minutes, focus like hell, no distraction. What this Pomodoro does, if it helps you, it keeps saying tick, 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 your family, everyone around, that 25 minutes, you're not, Shravan is in his Pomodoro, you should not disturb him. After that, 5 minutes, do whatever you want. You want to do a WhatsApp, you want to go like something in Facebook, you want to sing, you want to eat, you want to do anything that you want. Then ting, it says come back. After 5 minutes, come back. 25 minutes, 5 minutes. 25 minutes, 5 minutes. 25 minutes, 5 minutes. After 4 or 5 cycles, it says now you got to take a bigger break. So often we think that if a child, every 25 minutes you're getting up, we say, why the hell can't you stay for? Are you a monkey? Can't you stay at one place? That science is gone now. Every 25 minutes you have to take a break. That's the only way the brain works. And what it also does is, whatever is a process, you're also giving the brain to store it in a what you call a long-term memory. Okay? 25-5, 25-5, 25-5. After that, take a 15-minute break. Have chai, pick up a phone and gossip, whatever. There is one. Then, there are two things that you're doing in learning. Yeah? You're absorbing something and you're retaining something. For example, whatever I said, Pomodoro, right? You'll say, oh, Pomodoro is so smart, there's no way I'll forget it. Believe me, your brain is designed for thinking, not for short-term storing. So, to help you with that, and then there is also a thing, right? A German scientist, he did a lot of work. He's like, oh, people forget. Let me do that. He came up with a thing called Ebenhaus forgetting curve. Forgetting curve says that irrespective of how well you learn something, I'll actually send you that graph. Okay? In 24 hours, you lose 60% of it. 40 hours, you lose 70% of it. That's not because you're stupid. You're not stupid. That's where the brain is. So therefore, you need to figure out a way for reinforcing it. And there are some areas that it's much harder for you to remember. Nothing wrong with you. It's not because God made you as a dumb person. God has not made anybody as a dumb person. It's a neurologically established. So therefore, you need to help your mind retain it. So therefore, you'll actually figure out a way of doing something. So you can do various ways, right? You say, look, I'll take my toughest subject. I want to give it 2 or 3 revisions because there my retention is a little harder. Okay? That's how you there is another very, very important thing. I'll just take 30 seconds to tell you what your brain does all the time. Your brain is doing 2 things. All human brains work 2 ways. I'm sure, as you're discussing this, as you're listening to me, right? Suddenly your brain goes off. You look at my spectacles. Then it says spectacle reminds me of a lens. Lens reminds me of physics. Physics reminds me of physics teacher. Physics teacher reminds me of some joke somebody told you. Brain just goes off. So by default, our brain is in this mode. It's called narrative mode. It keeps going here to here. They say when they say mind is a monkey, that's what they mean. But sometimes when you're listening, right, you actually pay attention, focus. Okay? You're in a narrative mode or what you call a direct experience, your focus. You learn very well when you're able to focus your mind. But how do you help your mind focus? It's not very hard again. So there's enough YouTube videos available. Actually, please pay attention to do this. You'll help your brain and therefore yourself honestly. Just do a 10-minute mindfulness meditation. It's not my screen has gone. Are you guys still there?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're there.
Yeah. So all you're doing is, they are very simple. Again, people made mindfulness meditation sound like an intimidating subject. Oh my God, it's actually writing a Sanskrit exam in French. No, it's not. In fact, some they say, look, all it does is when you take your toothpaste and toothbrush in the morning, focus on just keep looking at toothpaste and brush for 2 minutes. That's mindfulness meditation. what it helps you with just 10 minutes every day, 5 minutes every day, 3 minutes, 1 minute, whatever you can. What it does is, you remember brain has two ways of working. It moves it from your jumping mode to focusing mode. When you focus, your absorption and retention goes up 10 times, 20 times. Okay, all you do is just listen to a song. That's also mindfulness meditation. Initially, you'll go all over, but progressively, you'll actually find that you're able to focus better. Then the efficiency of learning goes up. So, Pomodoro, what you find hardest to remember, leave time, start early so you have more time for revisions, because your mind has a way of forgetting it. There's nothing wrong with that. That's why mind is designed. And then simple mindfulness. Then, this is very important. It is expected of every student or every employee in the organization that you are good at everything. You have 7 subjects. They expect that you are good at everything. We start believing that. We say that I must score 90% in every subject. Fear of exams, stress starts there for a very simple reason. There is no way each of us can be good at all the subjects, period. That's what it is. I consistently used to score 97, 98% in maths, okay? And maybe biology, I used to score 70%. It's not that I'm a math smart and biology idiot person, because it's important to know that if there's a wide is differently. So, you know, when she was just talking about strategizing, right? If you're saying, look, I'm going to score 90%, then you'll say, math, man, I'm going to kill it. I'm getting 100%, because in my Hindi, I know I'm going to get in a 70%. Nothing wrong with that. One, you have to make sure you pass, right? You know, that don't be in the red zone. You have to make sure you pass so you go to the next class. So it is important to know that you are very good at something. You're not so good at something. It is established that you're not at all good at something. Even if you work all your life, you cannot become great at it. So we actually teach people to accept that. So say that, look, if math is not my sweet spot, so be it. Math, I'll get 50%, 60%, whatever I can get. And if I get only 60% math, I'm not going to say, oh my God, I'm a terrible kid. No. That's your thing. But where you have the potential, you crack it in the process, right? On an average, you actually crack it good. So when Srivi just says strategize, it's spot on. You say, look, this is my strength. I'm going to crack it, man. I've got 105 out of 100. Whereas here, I'll pass, I'll survive. I'm okay with that. Okay? So don't target for super performance in every subject, because it's not possible. We are yet to come across any human being out of these, I don't know, 7-8 billion people where they are good at everything. Fish can swim, monkey can climb, cow can graze. If you're expecting fish to do all the three, no, it won't. The fish will fail. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is there are 2 things you must accept. One is 3 things. You will not be good at all the things. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a fact of life. Okay, summers are hot, winters are cold, monsoons are wet. That's how they are. Don't expect same temperature across, right? But what you're good at, crack it. You know, give it your best. Second, know that your mind has certain limitations in remembering and absorbing. Some very simple, such dumb tools. Okay, when first somebody I had, oh my God, I was an idiot not to know about them. Pomodoro technique, simple. Study for 25 minutes, take a 5-minute break. Another 25, 5 minutes. Another 25, 5 minutes. But after 3 cycles, go do something else. If you find 3 cycles hard, 1 hour, go do something else. Go watch, you know, some 15 minutes of TV. That's fine. You're still learning. And then my biggest advice to you is, you know, the way the brain is, it's a default, it's a natural tendency is to lose focus. Nothing wrong with that. That's the way it is designed. Okay? 200,000 years ago, when you're in a cave, unless it was constantly shifting its focus, it will not know if a tiger is coming to eat it or if there's a rabbit coming in that I should hunt and eat. So mind is designed to shape. Mindfulness is very simple thing. 1 minute, 2 minutes. Take any YouTube video. Your Apple Watch has a mindfulness program in that. Teach your mind to focus for 30 seconds to start with, 1 minute. Because when you're in a focus mode, your absorption and retention both become tenfold. Okay? And one last thing. They touched on that beautifully. You got to celebrate. examinations taught us to feel terrible about where you have not done well, because they say, look, if you appreciate, you will get angry, you'll get arrogant, and you'll become proud. No, you don't. If you celebrate what you're good at, okay, we develop the interest in life. There's a thing, a chemical called dopamine. Dopamine makes you happy. When you celebrate, dopamine comes out, oh my God, I'm so great. My ustad, my topu. That's when you learn. You got to celebrate. And again, Srividya, you just touched it. There is a thing called affirmation. You remember she said, write your targets. What are the lines she used? That's beautiful. I'm so glad you touched it. It's called affirmation. When you think about future, you always say it in a positive manner. Okay? I'm intelligent. I'm not stressed. You don't use not stress kind of a thing. Okay? For example, a lot of people went to Mother Teresa, asked her to join an anti-war campaign. She said, I will not join. He said, Mother, why? She said, I'll join peace campaign. I'll not join the anti-war campaign. So use positive words.
I mean, if I just can add to that, focus on what you want, then what you don't want. Even if it is not the positive, negative, simple words, instead of saying, oh my God, I should not do this, I should not fail, say, I will pass. And what an Ain is saying is, you talk in the present and as if it has happened.
Absolutely.
Where I am, as if you're already that.
You'll say, I cracked the exam. Man, I got first class with distinction. I got the gold medal. You're not being arrogant, because it's called the power of the positive affirmation. Always talk about future. COVID, you'll not say, oh my God, I'll get infected. You'll say, I'm healthy. I'll stay healthy. Okay? So I'm so glad, when we were going through, nobody told us why we were
seriously.
Nobody told us why we felt like idiots. We believed we are idiots. I said, yeah. I'm Sanskrit way. I must be the worst example God made. God was drunk when he made me and put a bad module of Sanskrit in me. So I'm an idiot. No, none of us is. Okay? So, and again, it's a great to be learning. It's great to be growing. I mean, you're born at such a beautiful time, phenomenal time of opportunity. So just a handful of techniques. I know you'll all crack it. Okay? So, Sridhar Shavan, I'll have to apologize myself.
No. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful journey, whatever the trip you're up to. Enjoy. That's it.
Okay, right.
Come back and share us your learning.
Yeah, we're going to Kabini Wildlife Sanctuary to photograph tigers.
Oh, you're coming to Karnataka. Welcome.
Take care, guys. Bye. Have a good one.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So we have just another 10 minutes or so, right? Because you said 1 hour, 8:45, 9:45, we need to finish. So I will again go in a fast pace and quickly share couple of more. Okay. I'll go back here. Place. Simple, friends. Create a study place. And every day you choose the same place to sit and study. Because what comes to your mind when you think of bed? Sleep. Dining table, food. So create a study place, wherever it is, however small place, big place, doesn't matter. You don't need a room, a table, everything. But there is a place where every day you study in the same place. So that it is mapped. And then posture. Keep your spinal cord straight. And then time. There's a big question when you're supposed to study. People say you're supposed to study early morning, which is definitely proven. We go with the nature. When the sun is up, it's in the raising. But I will still say, in case you're not a morning person, go with your own biology. Ideal time is early morning. And also each of us map. When is your, when you look at your own 24 hours or whenever when you're awake in the day, each of us know when is your high energy zone and low energy zone. At some points of the day, for somebody early morning, they will be like, yes, let's do this. Somebody like me, as the day goes up, I'll say yes. So we got to choose our high energy zone and study the relatively the harder, the tougher, or whatever you think, or more significant, more important, which requires more attention in your high energy zone. And choose a lighter one in your low energy zone. And these are simple tricks, but trust me, it's very effective. Simple time, energy mapping. You map your energy zones accordingly, study, and try and keep it consistent. If I study every day, 8 o'clock in the morning, try and stick to that time. Why? Like 1 o'clock means we feel hungry, right? Whether even if you've eaten at 11 o'clock, but 1 o'clock means lunch, you'll start feeling hungry. Like that, we need to train our body and mind. That's why I said the place, the time, keep it as consistent as possible. I mean, exceptions will be there, but the more you're consistent, what happens, you don't have to take time. The moment you go sit there, you get into that zone of study mode. Distractions will be less, you'll be more productive. Otherwise, you'll have to do all that to tune yourself. 5 minutes is to, tune yourself, unwind. That'll reduce from 5 minutes to 2 minutes if you do it every day in the same time and the same place. I believe in smart study, not hard study. Life, we have to be smart and don't have to work hard. So train your body and mind. Then learning styles, like this is what even Ian was talking about. We have different learning styles, and one of us learn differently through our sense organs. Like some of us like to just hear and learn. Some of us would like to write. Some of us like to read. Some of us like to watch. So ask yourself what is your best learning style and use that more. There's no right, wrong, there's no standard. But writing is the best because you use the touch. Touch is a very powerful sense organ. And as you're writing, you're seeing also, and you say and write, that is the best. You're using the maximum number of sense organs. So you're more effective. Okay. And then goal breaking down. When you sit for that, using the Pomodoro, the 25 minutes, set a goal. Like in this 25 minutes, I'm going to convert one amber to green, let's say, or at least half amber to green. Sit with that goal, then your distractions will be less. Otherwise, mind will go all over. Ye cricket match chal raha hai, Saregama finale chal raha hai. All that will be happening, right? But the tool I will show you also on my phone. Also, I have. It's in the tomato shape. Okay, I don't know if you can see on the top second one. Pomodoro means a tomato. I don't know if is it visible, Shravan? No. Now I don't know. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, the second at the top, Pomodoro.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So it's a simple tool. Download it. It's there in every. It's very easy. But that 25 minutes, give a goal to yourself. In this 25 minutes, I'm going to finish this. This is what we call, if you have to eat an elephant, you have to cut it into small pieces. So this is what we call goal breaking down. Big goal, but when you break it down, it is achievable. So every 25 minutes, you will set a goal for yourself saying what you're going to finish. And celebrate. That 5 minutes break is your celebration. Yes, I did it. You can do all this. It's okay. If I can do, you can do. Say, yes, I did. Or, pat your back or go have a chocolate. Whatever the way, reward yourself in simple method. Don't expect others to reward. You reward yourself. Go celebrate. The best way to celebrate is, you erase from amber and tick into green. That's a celebration. And you're writing it, you're acting with your body. So it travels from here all the way to your brain and the neurons. I didn't want to get into the details of... yes.
When, Sai and Sidhu were younger, when I was sitting with them, we used to do this. I mean, I didn't know this technique, but I knew, we did half an hour. Because I didn't know this Pomodoro technique. I just did 30 minutes. And 30 minutes was done, we celebrated. We used to play ball, do something, and then come back again. Of course, we played longer. We didn't do 5 minutes. We did longer. But we always did these breaks. And anytime he solved a math problem or an algebra problem, we used to high-five like anything, as if the whole, it's like so big. We just really, really celebrated it.
So why don't we all celebrate now that all of you have learned so much in the last 1 hour with one nice big high five to all of us. This is called flying high five. You know, earlier they used to say only flying kiss. Why not flying high five? So one big nice high five to all of you.
Dad, one high five.
Kiray, what are you sitting and watching, man? Give high five to everyone. Okay.
I did.
Yes.
Not one.
Celebrate. See how you feel. You just observe when you celebrate, the feeling is different than when you just listening. So these are the few techniques, and multitasking is not good. I can prove it, but let's not do that. I'm sure you will trust me when I say multitasking is not, it's ineffective. Believe me, it is ineffective. Exam fear, excitement, we've done it. Wish you all the best. Celebrate, friends. Celebrate every moment of life. Celebrate your exams, and you will definitely do your best. Just go with full energy. Okay?